Hi everyone, thank you for joining me with Inventive Mind. Welcome to my channel. My name is Gayani. I'm an intellectual property and business law attorney. Before I came to law, I was also in science for 13 years doing biomedical research. So I wanted to put this video out to my community because I talk about business development. Part of business development is networking. So it's very important to understand sometimes if you are not used to networking, especially in the digital age, you have to be comfortable on the video and how you show up. So here are a few tips to help you network better, hopefully more intentionally to connect with people who are you're trying to connect with. So one of the things I will say is make sure you have good lighting, because if you, even though you might be at a beautiful location and let's say you have a window and you're looking out, the window is behind you. Well, problem with that is the light is behind you and you're going to show up dark on your video. And I hope like by now within that we spend, I'm taping this in 2022, so that by now you have gotten used to being on the video. But I still see a lot of people, maybe they don't care, that have like light sources behind them and they are in the shadow. And if you're trying to do a business development or network, that's always not the best impression to make, because people also not just what you say, they make judgments and decisions based on how you connect with somebody. And there's limited number of data that's coming through, especially if you are meeting through a video. So you want to put yourself at that best position to connect. So I would suggest getting it's very easy to get a lighting ring or something from Amazon or some other vendor, or making sure that you face the windows, not the window is not behind you. So the light source is on your face, not behind you. The second thing is, if you're going into a meeting and if it's a group meeting with several people, while I know they assume fatigue, it's actually better if you could keep the video on, unless you really are used to this group. If you're trying to connect with new people, it will be nice to see your face there and also paying attention. So I have been to meetings where, I know we are going from one meeting to another. So you're multitasking, you might be eating. It's not always the best impression to make when you eat on camera. So I would, in that kind of a case, I will turn off that camera. But if you're trying to make an impression or connect with somebody at that meeting, I will suggest keeping the video on, maybe connecting with them, through a direct message or something. And then if you really don't want to have the camera on, then turn it off. So that's a second tip. The third tip is, I think a lot of people have, there are people who are used to doing in-person meeting feel like this is now it's, there's nothing they can do. They don't really feel connected with the technology. But I want you to be more open to thinking about maybe opening up, because I do think that is a more of a mindset. Not to do, to say that the in-person meetings don't have value. There is value to it, but there's value to these video calls and connections too. I have found that, a lot of times with people who are very busy with their schedules, this is such a easier way to connect, and they can connect with you easily. So while in-person meeting might be nicer in some cases, this give you a better opportunity sometimes to connect with people who may not have availability for you, or it's harder to get in contact with. And two, I think if you go in with the mindset that it's hard to connect over a video, then you're really projecting that energy. So as somebody who do mindfulness and energy work as well, I would say stay open, because there's something to be said about two people who are coming across on the video. And if you're watching, there's energy to these videos. You have seen videos where people look tired and they're talking and you could feel that That's the same for you when you show up on a video call. And if you look, if you're not interested or you don't think it's a great connection, that will also get conveyed in nonverbal cues. So other thing, and lastly, what I would say is, there's something called implicit bias. It's basically how our brain makes some, quick judgments based on certain visual cues. So what you do want to be mindful of that. So if you are somebody who is trying to make certain, connection, and it's important connection, it's important to actually dress up for that calls too, because I know these days there's a lot of people who jump on a call and jump off. But they remember, if it's the first time you're meeting somebody, they might make a judgment just because you showed up looking like you just came out from surfing and from the beach, and you're on the call. It's not always the most, depending on the group, of course. If a surfer group, it's probably be perfect, right? But if the context of the call is a professional development meeting, and it's with somebody like an attorney or a group of networking business individuals, you want to make sure that you show up as you want to be presented. So, and that could be something you had to make a decision on how you show up. So those are my tips for better networking on this digital age, and I hope you enjoyed it. I welcome topics and other things you may want to discuss. This is part of my passion project. My videos, other videos are for entrepreneurs and startups, and this, I think, applies to those, and also it applies to anybody who's trying to do better with networking. So I hope this helps. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, thank you.